He asked it, not impertinently, but in the way Leonid preferred, as a student might question his teacher.
To live,
Leonid replied.
And live free. Now?
A horn rang out, reverberating through the great tent, and silenced even the voices of the emperor and his son, who had been chattering above on their thrones as if at the amphitheatre. It was the horn of the enemy upon the hillside, the last of the Huddites. Even from leagues away, the day was clear enough for Jai to make them out, hastily preparing for battle. Children clutching at the legs of their parents, even as they were pushed back to what Jai knew would be the grasping hands of the elderly and frail. Swarthy men and women gathered at the front ranks, clutching what weapons they had. There were blades enough, but scattered among them were pitchforks, scythes, even makeshift clubs. These were farmers' tools. Not a jot of armour to be seen. This was no army, but the remains of a civilization. One that had been chased from their homelands to the very edge of the silver seas, the waters just out of sight beyond the hillside. The Huddite army had been slaughtered in battle but a month before, and the survivors taken as fettered, as was custom. Now, all that was left was the civilians, those who had refused to be subsumed by the Sabine Empire, preferring migration than to be under the yoke. But the Sabines were insatiable and would not allow them to escape. This was the Huddites' last stand. The end of a culture, of a way of life. There was something so brave in their refusal to accept defeat. Brave, yet utterly foolish, for any who took up arms against the Sabines were fair game to be claimed as spoils. Fools, just like Jai's father.
Speak,
Leonid croaked. They gather for a charge, Jai whispered. There are many of them, more than the Legion's 5,000, perhaps 10 times more. Leonid waved away Jai's words with a blue-veined hand.
No army can defeat a Sabine legion, let alone this untrained rabble.
Jai resisted the urge to retort that his father's army had, once. Instead, he watched the royals, who leaned forward, excited for the upcoming entertainment. There was a nonchalance to the way they were draped over their thrones, with servants surrounding them, fanning their brows, rubbing their bejeweled fingers. It was no more than a show for them, like the baiting of a cave bear or the rhyming of a bard. Then, the roar of the charge and the thunder of feet. Jai did not want to watch, but his eyes belonged to Leonid, and so he turned them to the battle. The Sabine Legion seemed to hardly move. A dark, fragmented wave of Huddites broke upon the bulwark of their gleaming front line. Even at almost a mile away, he could hear the clash of steel and the wails of pain and fury. The sound rose and fell with the breeze, but never quieted. Beyond the front line's clash, Jai could see little of the horror, just the backs of men pressing forward. He could only imagine, drawing on what he had read in Leonid's diaries, or overheard from drunken soldiers when boasting had ended and the lament of lost friends began. Inside the pavilion, it was strangely silent, and a full minute ticked by as they all listened to the barrage of battle before the chatter of the royals and nobility returned. All the while, Jai willed the Huddites to break the line. Finally, a twitch of Leonid's impatient hand stirred Jai's lips as well. They fight, was all he said. The First Legion stands strong.
A poor tactic,
Leonid grunted.
Where's the encirclement? Why no cavalry? My son has grown complacent.
He leaned forward, as if his cataracted eyes could somehow see better that way.
Do the men fight well?
Jai had no answer for him. His eyes